Hello everybody and welcome to a new video. In today's video we are actually going to Prague, so I am going to do a little voiceover of all the clips where I just show you what we're doing. So first of all, we drove to Prague and I started reading the book Girls Like Girls, and I will later on talk about that as well. We picked my sister up from the airport. Hello, we have arrived in Prague now, and this is the outfit I changed into a top because it is very warm and we do not have an AC, but we'll live with it. Yeah, now we're heading out into the city. Then we just walked around the city for a little bit and also had some great Mexican food that you can see right here. It was very delicious, and we just walked around the city for a bit, went to the Karlsbrücke, or the Charles Bridge I think it's called in English, and I got some cute little earrings, and we just took a look around the city, got to know it a bit. It is very beautiful, I have to say that. And we went into a few little shops and saw this really fancy like candy store, and they had quite a few of these and I just thought it looked very cool. And we also got some chimney cake. Hello, we have this. I don't really know what it's called. Do you know what it's called? We don't know what it's called, but we're gonna try.
I'm not in the video.
Sorry.
You just got up my head.
Pretty good.
It's good. It's kind of like dough that is wrapped around a stick. I don't know if the stick gets hot.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's similar to Baumstriezel. If you know what
cinnamon?
Baumstriezel is.
like,
So I think it's pretty good.
and we had Mexican food for dinner, and
Yeah.
now we're just walking around the city.
This right here is the astronomical clock in the oscillator, and there are these little figures that come out of the little door and they like dance around, and it looks very silly, but that is like pretty famous I think. And yeah, afterwards we just walked over the Charles Bridge as I mentioned earlier, and it was like sunset, so it looked very gorgeous, and we then headed back to our little apartment and walked along the riverside, and it was like very gorgeous and romantic and sweet. So yeah, that was kind of our first little afternoon in Prague. We just got to know the city a bit. Hello! It is our first day in Prague and we are now back at our little apartment because we are actually not staying in a hotel but in an apartment, which I didn't know. I thought we were staying in a hotel, but it's fine. The only problem is that we do not have any air conditioning and it is very warm. We basically spend our afternoon walking around the city and just chilling and getting a little bit of a feeling for the city. We also went to some famous bridge, I forgot the name, and yeah, we are now back and we have some very fun things planned for the next few days. And I hope that this audio is actually going to be okay because it is very loud outside, but we'll figure it out. And I just quickly want to show you the view from our apartment because it is literally so pretty. Look at that view, that is absolutely insane. That like over there is the bridge that we went to, and we just walked along the river, and yeah, that is basically the vibe. The next morning we went to the Grand Hotel Europe to eat breakfast, and afterwards we had a very fun walking tour, and yeah, it was very informative and we got to know the city a bit more. We went to the John Lennon wall, which is very cool because you can like draw on it and it looks different every single time you go there, so that was very fun as well. We went to a few bookstores. I would definitely recommend Budget Books. That was like the best bookstore. It had only English books. It was very cool. And we drove around the city for a bit and went to a little shopping center that looked like an old house from the outside but was very modern from the inside. We didn't buy anything or stuff, but we just ate there. And then we went to a church because Prague has a lot of very beautiful churches. We also took a look at the public library and also saw these very cool like airplane butterflies on the side of a building. Hello, we are now back at our little apartment and we did a lot of things. I filmed most of them. We also went to a cute little bookstore. We went to a few bookstores actually, but I got one book. I got Normal People by Sally Rooney because I am feeling more so like reading literary fiction at the moment because I find that very fun. So I wanted to get this one, and yeah, I heard great things about her books, and so I wanted to check one out. Maybe I can also talk about the book that I started yesterday because I started reading Girls Like Girls by Hayley Kiyoko, and this is basically about a girl who moves to the town that her father lives in because her mother died, and she doesn't really have a lot of contact to her father, so she feels kind of out of place living with him, and she meets a girl, and that's basically the story. It's very summery, definitely. It's set during the summer. I'm like, I think 50 pages into it, and I'm really enjoying it. So it's pretty short, so I think I can manage to finish it on this trip. And in the evening, we just walked around the city for a little bit and also used the metro for the first time. Right here, you can obviously see me getting ready for the day, and it was going to be the hottest day of our stay, so I was kind of freaking out, honestly. Hello! As you can see, it is now the next day, and I just quickly wanted to show you everything that I got yesterday because I got something and I'm very excited because I got some shoes. And I mean, the question is, did I need shoes? The answer is no, but I still got them because they were like on sale and they were very cute. And so I got these shoes. And now the next question might be, Anna, why would you buy these shoes if you don't really know when to wear them? I don't know, but they were so adorable and they fit me very well. And it is very difficult for me to get shoes because I have very small feet. So I have size 36 in German terms. I don't know what that is in the world because I feel like every country has different measuring numbers for foot sizes, which is so confusing. But yeah, I have pretty small feet, so finding shoes that are like pretty is very difficult. I usually just buy whatever they have, sadly, or I don't buy shoes. And I got these, and they're so pretty. In the morning, we then drove to a different hotel. I forgot the name, but we ate breakfast there. I had some eggs, and my sister got pancakes, so this is me trying those pancakes. They were very good, and this is what the like hotel restaurant thingy looked like. It was very beautiful as well. And then we headed a little bit further out to a little hill where a tower is so that we can take a look over the entire city. Hello, we are currently walking to the top of a hill to go on top of a tower so that we can have a good view of the city. Yeah, to like an outlook point. And I am dying because there are so many steps, and I think I'm going to have nightmares about steps this night. Yeah, we're barely holding on. I think it'll be cool when we're at the top, but I'm literally dying, and it's so warm. And it's supposed to be 36 degrees Celsius today, and it is already so freaking warm, but we are almost at the top. So yeah, this was the view from the top of the tower. It was kind of the Eiffel Tower of Prague or something, and it was very cool. It was definitely worth it because the view was absolutely insane. And right next to it was also a like really cool fancy library, and you can't really go inside, but you can take a look at the like old books and stuff, and it looks very beautiful, so I definitely recommend that as well. It was very fancy, and there was also like a little exhibition that was part of it, so that was very interesting. And we also took a look at a church that was right next to the library, and then afterwards we went to the like big like castle church dome thingy. I still do not know what it is, but it looks very fancy. It looks honestly kind of like the dome in Cologne. But yeah, we didn't go inside because that would have been very expensive. And afterwards we just headed back into the center of the city and saw the Kafka moving head. It was also very cool. I quickly wanted to show you everything that I got yesterday and also today. So I got this little like postcard, but I think it's very cute and I kind of wanted to hang it on my wall as like a poster because I think it looks very cool. Yesterday we did a little walking tour and the guy gave us a like old coin that they used like a very long time ago. And I also got this coin kind of because I actually collect coins from all over the place, like every city that I visit, or at least I try to get one from every or almost every city that I visit. So that is very cool. And I got a cute little bracelet for a friend of mine. It's very cute. And my sister got herself some of these pins. I do not know if you can see anything, but that's fine. And I also got one. I got one with the astronomical clock that is on the old town square kind of. So also got that one. I'm dying right here. It's so warm. I cannot. I mean, in here it's okay, but we do not have air conditioning. So yeah, I'm barely hanging in there. And then we went back to the bookshop that we went to yesterday. I got 3 books and I am actually very excited about them. So first of all, I got Amphibious Soul, and this is a like non-fiction book about, I mean, it's kind of a memoir about the guy who wrote it. It sounded very interesting. I also got The Storied Life of A.J. Fikry by Gabrielle Zevin because she's the author of Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, and I really enjoy that. I think I read it last year, and I heard great things about this one, and it's pretty short and it sounds very sweet. It's like about a book owner. No, he's a bookstore owner, and he kind of adopts a little girl, and it's, I mean, I don't really know that much about it, but it sounds very cute and I think it could be very fun. So very interested in that one as well. And then I got The Stranded by Sarah Daniels, and I just saw this one at the like sale section because it was like €4 I think, and it sounds very interesting because it's like kind of, I would say, a dystopian world, and they go on like a crazy cruise ship, and it sounds very interesting to me. That afternoon we chilled in our room for a little bit and then we headed out to the Museum of the Charles Bridge, which was very interesting. And we also took a cute little boat tour, which was very fun and also very interesting because we got to hear a lot about all of the sights that we could see from the boat, and it was also just very beautiful, like the view that we had from the boat with like the sun slowly setting. We also took a walk around the Jewish quarters of Prague, and then we ate pizza and went into this cute little like gingerbread store, which was also very fun.
Okay, it's going to be very loud, but we got some gingerbread, very loud, it seems, and we want to try it because apparently Prague is also famous for gingerbread. It is originally from here. Yeah. Looks like huge gingerbread man. Okay. Yeah. It tastes more like a cookie. I thought it would be softer, but it's pretty good.
We also walked through the like smallest passageway in Prague, which was quite silly because you had a literal traffic light so that you wouldn't bump into each other. And then we headed back into the like central part of the city, and the sun was setting again, so it was a very beautiful view that we had. And we went to a little rooftop bar. I think it was called Terrace au Prince or something, but I personally wouldn't really recommend it because even though the view was great, the drinks just were not it. And yeah, then the next day we ate breakfast at Costa Coffee, and we went to the like metronome where the Stalin statue used to be, and had a little look around the park, and the view from that was also very cool. We went to a little post office because my sister wanted to send off a postcard for her boyfriend, and then we went into a few more bookstores because of course we have to. And yeah, we had lunch at this really fun little place where your food was delivered by trains. I think it was called Meat and Beer on Rails or something, and that was very fun. I would definitely recommend that. The food was also very good. And yeah, we went into the National Museum afterwards, which was also really interesting, and it was kind of a lot. So if you really want to take a close look at that, I would recommend like a full day or something because it was huge and we just barely touched on all of the information that it had, but it was definitely worth visiting. And in the evening, we went to a little arcade. I think it was called Levels, and that was also very cool. Hello, today is our last day in Prague, and I quickly wanted to give you guys a little room tour because I think I forgot to do that at the beginning. So now everything's almost empty, or pretty much empty. So let's do the little room tour. That is the door, and next to the door we have a little closet, and then we have the bathroom that is a bathroom. I mean, it's not really that crazy to be honest. Then in here we have a little table and some windows that are facing the south side, which meant that every single day it was steaming hot in here, which was not great. Then we have a bed that is very unmade, but you'll have to deal with it. And then over here we also have a little kitchen and a fridge, a microwave, and we mainly use the fridge for cold water because, as I said, it is very warm. Over here was my dad's room, and it's just a bed and a fancy little thing, shelf, and some plants. And then in the entryway we also have a like shoe thingy and a like clothing rack and a mirror that I used for my makeup every morning. After we emptied out our little apartment and put everything back in the car, we had breakfast at the Grand Hotel Europe again, and I had the best brownie ever. That is so delicious. And we saw this very crazy statue thingy. Yeah, no comment on that. And we went to a very fancy garden. I forgot the name. I think it was like the Palace Garden or something like that, but it was very pretty, and we just walked around there for a little bit. You have to pay an entrance fee, but it looked very pretty, and the view was also really cool because it had like several levels, and that was very fun as well. And then afterwards we just bought some souvenirs and headed out of the city because our dad dropped us off at the airport, and we flew back to Munich where my sister lives. And I know flying from Prague to Munich might seem a little bit strange, but my sister is a flight attendant, so she gets flight tickets for very cheap, and we actually flew business class, which was very fun. And yeah, so that was basically how our trip to Prague ended. We headed back, and it was very fun. I definitely think Prague is one of the prettiest city I've ever visited. It was just so cute, and the buildings were gorgeous. It also had like a lot of character just as a city. And yeah, on our way back, I just continued reading my book. I actually finished it on the drive to my sister, and it was a very fun book, so I would definitely recommend it. But it also had like a lot of deeper topics, so I would definitely check trigger warnings before reading it, but still would recommend. And yeah, on our flight back, I also got a chocolate, which was very delicious, and I also got a Sprite, and I felt very fancy eating that in business class. But yeah, that was pretty much our flight back. And yeah, as I said, I would definitely recommend Prague. It was a very pretty city. But that is going to be it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed this little travel vlog. I will actually have one posted in I think 2 or 3 weeks as well, because I'm going to Tallinn and Helsinki as well, which I think is going to be very fun. But yeah, if you enjoyed watching, maybe like, comment, or subscribe. I would really appreciate it, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye!